Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully complete our payment options, right? So here we successfully complete some of the payment and also we successfully complete some of the order. So now I want to visible all that order in our order area. So for getting all the data we have to create one of the function. So now go to our view. Better I just click the save all. So right now we don't need this. I just simply remove everything from here. Okay, so I just simply remove everything. That means that is in our app logging, that is our app payment. So that is our app payment and it is a view. So here we have to work. So after that, better I want to create another function. So here it should be also as a logging required. Okay, and there will be logging required, and here I define another function name as a dev order underscore view. And into the dev order view, here we have to pass that request. That means our request, and also here one of the statement I want to use, that is our try and except statement. So with this try and except statement, that is also one of the Python catch and handle exceptions. So that is used for Python catch and handle exceptions. So with this we can actually do that work. So here I want to define as a try. So I just simply define as a try. So if you go to that documentation, you will get a lot of the resources with this as a try and the except. Okay, so now I want to use the try, and to the try area, first of all I want to take all that our order. So I just take one of the variable as orders, and then our order model, right? Sorry, from our order model I get that objects. So I get that objects and then filter. So I want to filter it that user is that our requested user it or not. So I think you understand it right now. That is our user will be as a requested user, and also right now our order ID already it become changed, right? So now our ordered, that is order I have changed it. So now I want to get our order will be as a true. So now I just simply define as a true. Okay, that means all that our true order it will be get, right? And then I want to define one of the context. So into the context area I want to pass that data. That means I want to pass our this order data, which I take all that our complete order. So that is all that our complete order. I take the things with this variable as a orders. So now I want to pass it. So here I just simply pass our order. Okay, that means the orders and then our orders. Perfect. And also I want to define another statement, that is our except. So I just simply define as a except statement, and here I want to do some of the message. Okay, so here I define that messages with the warning. Okay, I just simply define as a warning, and here we have to pass that request and then our message as a, and then name it as a you. Okay, you do not. Okay, you do not have an active order. So otherwise it should be display this type of one of the message, and then it should be return. It should be return redirect. It should be return redirect to our home page. That means in our app shop, into the app shop, that is our home route, right? So I just simply pass it, and other than it should be return. That means it should be return our render. So return render with this request. Here I want to pass it to our app. Okay, and that means in our app payment. So into the app payment, here I want to create another page. Click as a new file, and I just name it as a order. Okay, order.html. So here I want to pass it in particular that position. In our app payment, here I want to define as a order.html. Okay, and also here I define the context, so that will be as a context. Perfect. So right now we don't have any data, so that is our context is empty. So now we have to create one of the URL for access that our order.html. So that means in our app payment, here go to that URL. So after this I want to create another URL, and I just name it as the orders. Okay, I just name it as the orders, and into the view area I have created one of the function name as a order view. So I just simply name it as a order view, and here I name it as the orders. Okay, so here I have defined that our URL. So now we can actually use that URL in our this position. That means that is in our navbar, that is our orders, right? So now go to our navbars. That is our navbars, and with the neighbors area I have defined that profile, and that is our order. So right now I want to take new one, so it should be our URL. So here I want to do that is in our app underscore payment. Into the app payment, here I have created, that is our app payment, and that is our orders. So I just simply define that name, it should be as orders. So now we have to work in our page, that means in our order.html page. So here we have to designing it, so here whatever you want. So right now I want to first of all make our extend. Okay, extends, it should be extends our base HTML. So I just simply define as a base.html, and then also our body block will be needed. So here I define as a block. Okay, I define the block will be as a body underscore block. Okay, body block, and also you have to end this block. So I just simply define as a block, that means the and block. Okay, so that is our and block. Perfect. So here I have defining our template, that means our base HTML. So now in particular that area, it depends on your design. So right now I want to create one of the basic design as a div, and here I define as a container, which is very much common. I have always used it as a empty5. So I just simply define as a container empty5, and here after this I take one of the h2 tag, and here I define the class. So here I define the class, and here I define the class as it will be as a text center. Okay, I just simply define as a text center, and also I define as a strong. Into the strong code I define as your order. Okay, your orders, this type of one of the things will be visible. And after that I want to take one of the div for the class. So here I take some of the row actually. So I just take as a div class as a row, and into the row area I define another div, and it should be as a call md. Okay, call md12. Sorry, here I define as a call md12, and then I want to define another div, and here define the class will be as a card. So into the cart area I define as a empty5. Okay, cart empty5, and then also I want to define one of the table. So before table I want to define on the responsive. So I just take another div table. So I just simply define the table responsive. Okay, table responsive, this type of one of the class I want to use, and then I take one of the table. So I take one of the table, and for this table I take one of the class as a table class, and then also we need our th, that means the t head. So I just simply define the t head, and then I take one of the tr. Okay, into the tr area I take one of the th. So into the th area I want to define one of the scope. I think you already know about it. I make the things as a call. Okay, so call, and first of all it should be as a hash, that means the number wise, and then all that our th, that means the table head I want to define. So right now I want to define our hash. It should be display our order id. Okay, order id, it should be display our product. So okay, products, so I just simply define the products, and also our status. So that is our status. Okay, it should be display this type of all that our table head, and that is our head. After this head I want to take our t body. So into the t body area, so here we have to get all that our data. So here I have already passed all that our order data with these orders, right? So now we have to add one of the for loop. So here I define one of the for loop as a for as a order in orders, right? So that is our orders, and also we have to finish it. So better I just finish our and for, and here I want to I take one of the tr. So better I want to take the things little bit in particular that area. So that is our tr. So into the tr area I define our all that name. I just take as a th with the scope. Okay, I just simply define the scope will be as a row. Sorry, here I define that row, and that will be actually our counter, that means the for loop counter. So I think you already know about it, because of all that is first of all I have defined as a numberize, right? So here you can define the for loop and then the counter. Okay, I just simply define the for loop counter, then automatically it will be added 1 2 3 this type of another name. And also after that I want to take the TD, that means our table data. Here I want to display our order ID. Okay, that means this order ID. So here our field name as order ID. So now I want to visible it. So better I want to define order ID as a one of the link, that means hey Harif. Okay, so here I want to display our link as a order. So with this order I want to do, because of all that is actually our order, right? So with this order we have to define our field name, and here that is our app order. So into the app order, if you go to that model, so here that is actually our order. You can see that is actually our order ID. So now I want to display all that our order ID on here. So better after that is our order and the order ID. And also I want to take another TD. So into the TD area we have to display our all that products, right? So all that products we have to display. So here that means we have to display that our items. So I just simply define one of the for. So here I define that for, and with this for loop I want to define our item. Okay, that means if you go to our model, so that is our here that is actually our order item, right? So the order item means actually that is all that our product, right? So here we have to defining it. So that means that is in our item, and then we have to added that things in our order item. So now first of all I define our product name, that is the item. So item will be as a I name it with our order. So with our order here I have defined that name. So I have defined that name as a order item. So now I want to display and define our this order item. Okay, and I want to take all that our order items. So for the reasons I define as all. Okay, and then also we have to display our item name. So that means here I define our this item. So I just simply display our item name. That means all that product name will be visible. And also after that we have to add our for. That means here I just simply define our and for. Okay, that means the and for loop here I just simply close it. So that's all for our order. Okay, that's all for our order, and after that is our status. So for the status here I want to define, make the things as a one of the spend class. Better I just simply define the TD, and here I take one of the spend, and to the spend area I define the class. So I just simply define the class. It will be as a birdz and primary. Okay, birdz primary. Sorry, that will be as a birdz primary. Okay, and then here I want to display some of the message as a processing your order. That means that is already complete. So now it's showing, it will be show as a processing your order to the customer, right? So here we have to defining it. So now that's all our field, right? So that's all. So now if you check it, like I just click the save all. Now go our side, refresh it. Now go to that our order. Yes, you can see it's now perfectly display our all that order ID, and that is also showing all that our product. So that is our product, and that is also showing our status. So that is our status is perfectly visible, right? So everything is now perfectly visible. So now if you add any product, you can add it. So right now I take only one product. Now go to our cart, go to our process to checkout. Now go to our make payment. So right now there is a 15. Go to our bKash, and you can also define another one as a bKash. You can see there is also the success. So if you make that things as a success, yeah, you can see it's also showing as a our payment completely successful and our card is empty. Go to our orders. Yeah, you can see there is also another one. So that is actually our new one. Perfect. So friend, we successfully complete our e-commerce site. I hope you enjoyed very much, and a lot of the things actually I shared but you have to practice it. Without practice, actually you cannot remember every functionality. So when you practice, when you try to update it, then that is actually the process that you can develop your skill. So make that sure you practice it, and rather than if you face any issues, if you have any query, just let me know about it. I am here for help you as much as I can. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.